If you don't know how to avoid IP complaints within Amazon, you are gambling your account. Let me help you lower the risk of it happening to you. So what is an IP complaint? IP stands for intellectual property. When you get an IP complaint within Amazon FBA, this is basically a brand saying to you they do not want you selling their product. Now Amazon will always take the brand side. Now if you're unlucky enough to get an IP complaint or you've been selling for a while, I'm sure you have got one before. As soon as you get an IP complaint on your account health will drop instantly. Too many IP complaints can lead to a temporary suspension. So the question you're probably asking is, how do you even get an IP complaint? Well, you can get an IP complaint by selling on the listing the brand does not want you on. You can also get an IP complaint by selling on a misbranded listing, as the actual owner is not the brand, and it could be a seller which is issuing IP complaints to other sellers even though they don't own the brand. Yes, I know this does sound a bit mad, but it can happen and they can slip through Amazon's checks. And also just remember, sometimes they cannot be avoided. It is out of your control. But here are a few steps that you can look for to help you avoid it as much as possible. Make sure you're checking Keeper, look at the graph, look at the offer count, and if you see a big drop in sellers, more like a cliff drop, then I would avoid this listing. Also, tools like SellerAmp do have an IP warning, but I wouldn't go by this as it can be not very accurate, and your best bet would be to check Keeper to see if there's any big drops in their offer count. And also make sure you're selling on the listing that is listed under the correct brand. Let's say you're selling toothpaste and the brand is Colgate. Instead of an O in Colgate, they've put a 0. This is to bypass Amazon's checks, and they could issue you an IP complaint even though they don't own the brand. Pass on this listing, don't risk your account. So where you buy from can help you fight your IP complaint. Make sure you're only buying from trusted retailers. Don't just buy for some random website that has no reviews, was recently created, as this could be stolen stock, people liquidating, and they don't have proof of supply chain for their products that they are selling. So a few trusted retailers here in the UK are Argos, Tesco's, Currys. Sites like these are trusted and they are retrieving their stock from either their brand themselves or a trusted supplier. If Amazon do ever question your stock, you need to know where it's came from and you need to prove that it has come from a valid source. So what can you do if you do get hit by an IP complaint? First of all, do not panic. Read the email, check what they've issued an IP complaint for. A lot of the times it can be inauthentic, which if it is this and you've bought from a trusted source, you should be all good. Grab your invoice, grab a few things that you need to get together, send it over back to Amazon, and they should lift the IP complaint. If they do not give up. Change a few things within the text you've written or the invoice and keep trying. Do not give up. If you've bought from a trusted retailer, they will lift the restriction. Now here are a few steps. Once you've sent your invoice back over to Amazon, make sure you remove the listing from your inventory to prevent any more complications. While you're on the Amazon page, and if you go down to the account health and you can see the IP complaint, whatever you do when you're uploading your invoice, do not acknowledge the IP complaint, as this is admitting to something that you have not done. So my final message to you, remember that your Amazon selling account is your biggest asset. Protect it. And to be honest, avoiding IP complaints is all about slowing down, checking details, and looking for the signs of an IP. When you know the signs, it's quite easy to avoid where you can. It's just a combination of reps and awareness. So if this video helped you, can you please drop a like to help as many people find this video so they can avoid making this mistake. If you have any questions or you have something in mind that you want me to cover for the next video, please hit subscribe and drop a comment. I reply to everyone.